So here's how to write those 100-word emails. I'm going to show you why your emails are too long. So this is an email submitted, and when I counted the words, I'm counting the copy that he wrote and not the testimonials. It comes up to just under 200 words, and these as well. And then I was able to get it down to under 100 words. So basically that email would have been written in half the time if he would have followed these principles. The number one reason why your emails get longer is when you talk about more than one idea. If you've watched my 5-part editing checklist in Profitable AF emails, you'll notice that one of the checklist items is following the rule of one. And the rule of one is one big idea, one prospect, one problem, one solution, one offer. And the minute you start adding more than one idea, then you've violated the rule of one. And there are some cases where you might be able to break the rule of one just in general. For example, you're a personal brand writing to a house list and people will allow you to be self-indulgent and you're just writing story-based emails to build a relationship, but you're not doing that. You're writing emails to book a call. So right off the bat, the subject lines and preview texts are okay. They're not like super amazing. Eliminate your urge from day one, good subject line. This technique blew their minds. Okay, that's also okay. It's not great. I don't like to use this, but sometimes it's necessary. Technique is good, so it implies some sort of new mechanism. Blew their minds. I mean, we're writing for anti-porn and you're writing blow. You might want to be careful with the wording. Nobody told you this was easy. Absolute shit. It's poor man's intrigue. Tactic to control your urge, which is okay, but it's still vague. Bulletproof from urges. Okay, that implies a unique mechanism, but it's still a little bit vague. This trick worked for many men. Again, poor man's intrigue, so shit. Dodge your urges like Neo. No problem even if you get hit. This would be okay as a subject line, but that's not the idea that's being spoken about in the email. It's not the core idea. And so what this is, Neo, is a new idea and not part of the main idea in the email. So it violates the rule of one. And then this first line is waffle. It's throat clearing. If you deleted it, the meaning of the email would not change. And the next thing that we have to do is, so why don't you just lead immediately with this? So I'll show you in a second what I did when I revised the email, okay? So focus the entire email around this. And so even this line is technically not necessary because this line is part of the previous idea of quick wins. Quick wins is its own idea. And so it's different from the idea of the bulletproof glass technique. So instead, what you said, did you know that breathing exercises can help you control your urges? And I'll show you in a second what I mean by that. So like essentially, you could just write these 3 lines or 4 lines, and then that's it. So you have to be careful when you're formatting. Like you don't want to make it difficult for people to read. Like the I is going to this number 1, it's going here. It takes more than a second for me to focus on the actual testimonial. So you have to be careful with your formatting as well. Like you got to think about how people read. And I get that you're trying to space out, do 1-sentence paragraphs or short paragraphs. But if that's the case, if you're splitting it up to make it easier to read, why didn't you do an ellipses and break this up as well? It's the same thing. So your formatting is like just totally random. And so these are just testimonials. No need to change these. These are great. I deleted this 4th testimonial. This is unnecessary because it's like totally vague and random. There's no specifics in it. So it's not a good testimonial. And generally, it's a good idea to do things in 3s. So there's like something called the rule of 3 when you're writing. So you do things in 3s and it looks more cleaner and elegant. I can't wait for you to try it. This is okay. This line also is unnecessary. And you can also massage the wording here. And I'll show you in a second what I did. And the other problem here is now you've talked about the bulletproof glass technique. That's one idea. That's the core idea of the email. And now you introduce 4 more ideas. Plus, where's that bit about Neo? There was something about Neo that we deleted. Now let's compare it to the revised email that I basically just edited. What I did was I focused the entire email on this one idea about the breathing exercise, all right? And so now we have a very specific subject line. Breathe like this to get rid of urges. So breathe like this is a unique mechanism or some sort of action that they have to take. So that's the specificity part of the perfect subject line. And get rid of urges is the benefit. And here is this "I'm in control" is a quote from one of the testimonials, and it's really just amplifying the benefit of the subject line, and it adds more intrigue. And then breathe like this is its own intrigue. And so we just go directly into the bulletproof glass technique. Did you know that certain breathing exercises can eliminate your urges to watch porn or masturbate? I share one tactic on the very first day of my program that works instantly. Another thing that you want to be careful about is you want to eliminate all of the qualifiers between your claims. This technique could help you to maybe instantly control your porn urges sometimes. That's shit. This technique works instantly, full stop. That's a much more powerful way to say it. It's called the bulletproof glass technique. It's effortless to learn and implement. So like your wording around here in the previous email was a little bit more verbose. And it works like magic to control your urges. I don't like to put the personalization at the top of the email because it looks like it's just automated personalization, and a lot of people are used to that now. So when you put it somewhere in the middle of the email in your copy, it looks more personalized. It works like magic to control your urges. Just listen to what my clients have to say about it. And so you want to be careful also about the words that you use. Just listen to what these men, like random men, who just listen to what my clients is more specific. My clients, i.e. they paid me to learn this. And so look at how I formatted. Now this formatting, it violates the kind of short sentences, short paragraph, but it makes it much easier to read. It's very clear where the testimonial starts and where it ends. Whereas if you look at your one, is this all part of one testimonial? The way you formatted it looks weird. I can't wait for you to try it. When you're ready to take the first step, my team and I are here for you. So this is a call to value as opposed to call to action. And this is the sign off to your recovery. And then I have a very simple secondary CTA here. In case they read it and they miss this call to action, or they misread this call to action and they don't click on it, there's a very clear and direct call to action below. And so this email is just one idea. And so let's look at how many words this is. 64 words. 30 words is 94 words. And just right here, 94, 114 words. 114 words down from almost 200. This would have taken you half the time to write. And this stuff right here is like templated. So you don't even have to write this stuff. So that's why your emails are coming up as 200 words, 300 words, even bigger, even longer than 300, sometimes up to 400 words. That is why your emails are so long and it's taken you so long to write. Because you come up with these cool ideas, dodge your urges like Neo. So you've got the matrix in your head now. And whoa, it's like I'm dodging my urges like Neo was dodging the bullets. That's a cool idea that has to make it in the email, and I can't possibly cut it out. And so of course your emails are long because you're trying to fucking massage this extra copy somewhere in the email. And in this case, we've taken it out, but you're trying to massage these extra ideas in the email because you think it's a good idea, but it's not really a good idea. And so just focus on one idea. Look at how there's no connection. There's very little connection from the subject line to the start of the copy, to the core idea that's talked about in the email, to the sign off, to the PS. There's no connection. I have to actually basically search for the core idea that's mentioned in the subject line before I actually get to it. Whereas this email, from the very beginning, the subject line, the body copy, and the call to action and PS are connected in one cohesive piece to the big idea.